To take the panel off, you're gonna have to first put the gear selector down into like first. So I put the emergency brake on. So it's got to be all the way out of the way. Then you take the two electrical outlets, put your fingers in there, and just kind of pull it loose. And you kind of work your way up. And it'll just come out. So you pull this off to the side. And there's 3 connections. They're in there pretty good, obviously. You don't want them falling out. Got that one. That one. And that one. And then there are 4 7mm, one on each corner, 7mm. So I just take a small ratchet and take it out. That's it. After you take those 4 out, there's your HVAC control module. So once you have the module out, I take dimes because they're thin, and then that you can take a screwdriver and pry it up and start it, but usually the dimes are thin enough where you don't need it. So just go around and put a dime at each of these tabs and on the ends too. I didn't even use a screwdriver, I just used the dimes. They're thin enough they could slide under there all the way around, and see if I could hold the camera and pull it apart. Sorry, I wasn't able to do it one-handed, so basically I just grabbed onto this and pulled it, and it came out. All the dimes fell out. Make sure you don't leave any dimes in this area. But this is as far as you need to take this module apart. You don't. Before I took the whole circuit board apart, and then I had to deal with the lining up the computer board with this. So right now, leave it alone. It doesn't need to come out. These are your lights. 1, 2, 3. And when you put this back on, put that back on, just make sure this lines up with this. And these bulbs, give it a twist and they'll come right out. So I was hoping this one would be loose, which would explain why it didn't work, but it's in there pretty good. So I'm going to switch it out with another bulb and see if it works. So I went through, I grabbed a screwdriver, and I actually found that this bulb was not locked in. It was kind of loose. So hopefully I'm going to put it together and it will work. If it does, then that means it was installer error, which was me. Fortunately, I'm not driving back and forth to a shop and not doing it for money. So I tightened up these 2, so they're in there. And then, like I said, make sure there's no dimes left in here that are going to short anything out. And I take this, make sure it's all the way there. Make sure that's all the way there. And then you just push down and that's it. Alright, back on the car. I'm going to put the module back in from behind. do the 4 7mm bolts that are holding it in. Don't crank them down too hard, otherwise you'll crack the plastic. Just tight enough so it's not rattling around. All these connectors go right back where you found them. It's a little hard to see in the dark. They only go in one spot, so. There's 1, 2, 3. That's it. Now this little wire at the top sometimes gets caught up. Feed it through the hole so it doesn't get bunched up. And then you're gonna put this in backwards from the way you took it out. Put the top first. Work your way down. Pop back in there. Now let's see. Yeah, the light bulbs work. So that was operator error, and I think it's. All right, so everything's working again. You could go ahead and turn stuff on, make sure it works. Yeah, I'm verified. Yeah, it works. And I use remote start in the morning, so I always put it on hot and defrost. So it was my fault, my bad, but it gave me a chance to show you guys how I did it. Easy, start to finish. Even with taking this video and fumbling around with that, less than a half hour.